Now one of the things we have to do is cut a hole here for our prop. As you can see, this is not a good way to fly. I'm going to do that right now. Very quickly. Cut, 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 cut. As you can see from this process, there's a lot of measuring and measuring twice and cutting once in this building of a towel. I'm kidding, of course. Again, the idea of this design is to make it easy, cheap, and fast to build, and also to fix in the field once you go out and crash. There you go. Now that we've popped through, well on our way. Earlier we made these rudders, tail pieces, to keep the plane straight up in the air. I'll show you how you cut these now. Basically, what you want to do is take it and take a knife. Make sure you have enough room back here for when it, for this cutout to slide back. Imagine the cutouts here. It's going to go to there. So you definitely don't want this to go all the way back. So this is actually okay here. I'm going to try again. That would be just about perfect. So I'm going to go from here, put it up against your deck, cut the outside, cut the outside, cut the top, cut the bottom, cut the top, cut the bottom, and then cut the inside. And then you're going to punch these out. This is one of the things that is good if you can actually be a little more precise with this, because these just basically stand by pressure. So if it's smaller, that's not so bad. If it's bigger, you might have problems later. So cutting it with an angle in, like we cut the back piece of the towel, would be good. They're also fairly custom. That's why you want to put the one that's going to go there and cut the hole with it, because they're all a little bit different because they're made by human hands. So that one's in. It's pretty good. Now I'm going to do the other one. Bring it around. Take this out. You want to be very careful about this. This one hasn't been reinforced yet. You really want to reinforce these parts because when you do go down, those go down. And you want to get an eyeball of where you are on the other side, where the other one is. It's about a 1/4 inch in. So I have it up against the deck. Cut the outside, the length, outside the length. It's not so neat. Cut the top, cut the bottom. Cut the top, cut the bottom, take it off, then cut the inside, cut the inside. The knife is getting dull. When you're cutting this stuff, it's actually really good to remember that you're dulling the blade every time you go through this stuff. It does seem to dull blades fairly easily, so don't be afraid to try a new blade if things are starting to get messy. And that's that cut out. And another one cutting out right here. In the back. And let's try this. And at the front end and the back end and go back. This one actually has turned out to be sort of a V-wing, which is interesting. We've never cut one like that, and it actually has a very nice, cool, sort of bat eye look to it. So that's the kind of stuff you can do when you're building these. You can just, you know, stuff happens and you come up with a new idea. So now I'm all thinking about how we can make these look even more evil looking.
So we almost have a finished towel here. So I've added a Velcro strip for the battery pack, which is going to allow you to set the center of gravity. And we haven't told you what the center of gravity is on this airplane. It's about 12 inches back from the nose.
Center of gravity, for those of you who don't know, is really important to a plane that basically weighs about 15 ounces. This plane with the battery weighs like just short of a pound. So it's very finicky, would be one way to describe it. Tender is another way to describe it in sailboat terms. It's very, weight distribution is very important. And the center of gravity, if you have it right on the plane, all of the force that is used to lift and drive the plane around will be used effectively. If the center of gravity is wrong, the plane might dive too much or might want to put its nose up too much. So finding the center of gravity with the plane is very important as you build your first one and you test fly it. Another thing about these planes, if you build your first one, you don't want to test fly it in some area where you might lose it or it's a very difficult place to fly. As you get a plane that is test flown and you know how to fly it really well, you can fly it in the middle of streets, in forests, in very small backyards. You can get it up above over trees and fly it around and land it in a small area. But the first time you fly a plane, you want to go to a big open field where if everything goes wrong and it just crashes, you can get the plane back. What we're talking about is putting the scratchy side of the Velcro on the plane and the fuzzy side, the soft fuzzy side of the Velcro on your battery.
And that's the soft fuzzy side. You touch that there. Touch that there. And what we like to do is a good starting point, just sort of to figure out what the CG should be, is a little bit of the battery pack over the nose of the deck. All right, not the towel itself. So it'll be, you know, a finger or two's worth of space over. Center of gravity ought to be pretty much under the motor, or a little bit ahead of that. That's okay. Too far back is the problem, not too far forward. So I'm here sussing out the center of gravity. That looks about good. Yeah. All right, that looks nice. Good, beautiful. So we have essentially a pretty good balanced plane. Let's make sure this thing's actually kind of working. Power it up.
I got the throttle down.
Throttle down.
So now we're going to connect the battery to the speed controller, which does supply all the power to the plane. Now Breck has a problem with orientation. He has to see the plane in a specific way to know if it's going right or left, or if it's set up properly. So he's going to put it the way he likes to see it.
All right, so give me up. That's up. Give me left. That is left. And then down.
Down.
That's that. And right. That's right. So we have, looks like a coherent airplane. How about a little power? I just need to be... all right, stop power.
So there it is. That's a towel.
Well, it's basically ready to go. Let me clean it up just a little bit because we have some extra twist ties hanging around. Sure.
This is the daytime version of this plane. We also put L-wire or any sort of LED light on it to fly them at night. Actually, this whole project started with Breck wanting to fly night planes, and we built a bunch of those, and are really interested in flying them at night. And it's a whole other component of design and art that you can do is use L-wire, electroluminescent wire, and place it around the plane. The big thing about lighting a plane for night is keeping the orientation of the plane so you can see it from a distance. We have some videos up on our website showing the plane flying in winter conditions where when you get it far enough away, it really is very difficult to see where you're going.
Well, I think we got a towel.